Welcome back, everybody, to Los Triplet Bay. It is that time to say goodbye. It is time to make new maps. It is time to make new cities, new friends, and everything. And to recap where we've been here in Los Triplet Bay through our entire city, we have to start here at the hills of Del Selva. And of course the Gans district, and of course the hills of Del Salva and Chilon Park. These were our first little community areas with our first 6,000 folks, another 4,000, and 10,000 folks. Now, one of the best things that we ever did was create this park, and look at it. We've gone years and years and years into this game after surviving pandemics, global catastrophes, natural disasters, and here we are. We're still making about $1,000 to $2,000 in a park to get people to and from one location. Now, we never really honestly kind of fixed the traffic issue. We just kind of diverted it so that people would show up here and get out as quickly as possible. But in our next little area, we created the Woodlands as our little first farm as well, with Victoria Farm to produce goods and services. Alright, and this filled in this area along with a Fairview forestry area. Alright, these provided us a lot of imports and kind of took a lot of money and everything else, and we worked over here into Blair Rose Heights. And in Blair Rose Heights, we basically used the elevation to our advantage to put in all types of goods and services throughout the entire area here. And this is where we first put in like our metro, our bridges, and everything else. And we thought, hey, look, I honestly think it's time to kind of expand to get more people into this area. So we created Ibo Island, where we put in our first cargo harbor and our cruise terminal and metro to that station and got them all interconnected. Then we built this bridge and we got that connected all the way into the mainland. So we'll get into that here in just a few. But to take a look over here, you know, we started another industry area, okay, so that we could actually get goods and services back and forth by plating in some factories and some ore, so that we could actually get our first little bits of metal. Now, one of the first things we did when we crossed over on the Bain Bridge, which provided us a lot of attraction, that gave us lots of money, was basically to create these refinery locations so that we could actually have money and oil coming in every day. And we expanded over here to Lake Heights, Park, and we created a little Tiesto Park, which was basically a cool amusement park, alright, with the actual fairgrounds and campuses here, which are doing amazingly well. We're making some good money there. Alright, and then we decided that we wanted to take this area here and create Pearl Square. And we got our trains hooked up into it, our cargo trains hooked up to it. And we built these campuses here, which have, you know, kind of gone down in their prestige. But, you know, we were able to bring them back up. Apparently they're losing students, but guess what? We've got them fully maxed out for maximum capacity for them. So we put in all 3 campuses, and we took the area over here, Glasgow campus, which is now back to level 1. So this is just because we don't have a lot of people coming into the city to do what we want them to do and live. So we focused on some of the rich folks gave them places to live, a little high end over here, and way up here in the heights of Whataboutsarah, and then created Whataboutsarah Square. And you can definitely see that this really helped us out. We got like 27,000 plus people in here, built some little commercial and IT places here. And then even with like our little forestry area, we eventually decided to throw in a cargo airport to bring people in, because we also had train terminals that actually brought all the goods and services to these folks over here. And we got them interconnected into this island. And over here we created our first trash island, which has completely redeveloped itself into its own little civilization here of 1,000 folks. And all they really do is they process all of the garbage and trash throughout the entire district, which, you know, they do a good job of. And we also have our little water pumping stations, a little mail postage service, and some of our first fishermen doing what they can to do everything else. Now, apparently we are skipping toward near the end of our series, because right now in this video you're so lucky, but we are going to be able to watch a launch here in City Skylines, which, you know, is happening right now. So if we actually click on this and then we click on the little follow, clear them out, we'll be able to actually watch them launch like this. Beautiful. All the happiness, all the folks that live around here are improving themselves. Wow, I guess I put a toll road and it's going to nowhere. Alright. And we're saving and getting out of the air. Come on. There you go. We drop down. Can't believe I built a toll here. I wonder what I was gonna do. Oh well. But one of the interesting things that we did and we needed was over here in Aspen Square. We created an entire area and industry to make sure that our goods and services and our farming communities thrived even more. So we basically built all of this in here as much as possible, and we even custom built some water services to make sure that our power deliveries and everybody else had commercial services. Same with this beautiful cargo terminal. They helped themselves out as we were then building into Pearl Square and this beautiful little area of Lake Heights. See? Another area right on the hills with some mixed residential, commercial, and IT. Definitely boosting up those land values. Then what we did after all of that, we had the Foggy Island that we talked about with trash. We wanted to make sure that we had a international hub for people to come in. So we made an entire tourist area to basically be our little leisure hub. We put in our little space elevator because we finally became a metropolis. And we threw in our airports that were needed, an international airport that we custom built here to make sure that we got what we wanted, where we wanted, and how we wanted, and even put in a little commercial luxe airport for those private passengers who live on this beautiful island as they pass through from the mainland, alright, all the way over to the other side. So with that, we got this main road from the bridge fully connected into here, right? And then we decided to take our time and focus on filling in Waterhead, which basically gave us more oil and more money. We finished out all of our factories that we could place in here so that we could actually create more money. And for the people that needed jobs, we simply put them in over here and made sure that they had a active lifestyle with downtowns, museums, right, and a place to go so that they could get from one place to another. So we called that the zoo, which became pretty much like a military sector park, which was kind of a name from everyone. And we have Maury Park, which took its time to develop. And as this entire area was basically built off of a central station right here to get interconnected with all the cargo terminals and everything else. And as you see, there's no tolls here. So this really allowed this area to flourish. So then we decided to get a little happy and create a huge IT sector here. And that's exactly what we did in Karabakh Heights. Right? We got tons of people over here. You know, we got almost 40,000 people. And they're all doing their great things and great jobs and everything else. We had a couple disasters along the way. And then we came over here and did a beautiful experiment after we put in this beautiful 8-way interchange with Fairview and Vermont to basically show you that, hey, look, the industry is pretty important and this will really help you out and to grow your city. And of course, it's best to check out that episode as soon as possible. And then eventually we discovered this beautiful inland area called Olive Garden. Or, you know, a long time ago, I guess they just called it Olive Garden. But with all of that said and done, we got it all set up. We've increased the size of all the roads. We put in cargo airport terminals all across here. Even had to get rid of a couple because planes were just circling around here. But this is pretty much where all of our farming and trees get their crops from and their wood. And of course, once in a while, things just happen to catch on fire. So in that, we decided to create, after the experiment, to fill this in with hillside. We tried making this a complete commercial area. And as you see, it failed. So one of the things we had to do was clear this out and put residents in. And we're simply waiting for more residents to come into the city. And that got us a lot further. So to make sure that we increased our money for our tourist areas, one of the best things that we did do was create this entire tourist district that was all tolled in with its own little train area and its own little amusement park over here to get people in and out of Hillside. So we're making about half the money that we need, which means that we need more residents to get into here, right? And we just filled it all in with residents and commercial areas right into the center so that people could enjoy themselves, making this area super popular. But in the meantime, before any of that ever happened, we worked over here in Hamilton World, where we created more wood and Amanita ore reef to bring in more ore. And we also put in these huge cargo terminals on each side of the map so that we could actually get more goods and services in and out of the area, along with a beautiful hidden back road that helped connect everybody to and from. And one of the best things that we did do was continue over here in Aspen, realizing that we needed a nice little launch area. So we put the little shuttlecraft and everything else here so that people could come to the park and watch the launches of the rocket like you saw earlier. We also decided to create this amazing cavern here, alright, so that cruise ships could come into the town, alright, and for people to easily hop onto public transportation in the Metro Center to come into the new area and new airport for Lincoln. And we also created Lincoln National Park, okay, and we also created some high density areas for people to live, like in Willow Beach and its own little metro airport, so that more people would come into here, so that people could enjoy the beauty of Laurel Thornton area that we've developed with its own little cargo terminal, its trash compactors and everything else, and its first golf resort of the entire area, which really made a huge difference in the happiness for everyone, which, you know, before any of that ever came to be, and all of these trains that seem to have backed up, we placed in metro and goods and services with huge stadiums all through here so that people could enjoy the games and services over in Charlotte Park, right? And we were going to do more things like make another campus, but unfortunately we just decided to put in some regular universities for Amanita Square, Monmouth Park, to basically take care of our horse racing and everybody else who enjoyed recreational riding and volleyball. Same with Shiva Square, Moore Haven, and Concord District, so that everybody had their own individual commercial activities and a way to get to and from each of these locations. Now that really sums up this entire map of everything, including the one thing I did forget, which was the beautiful Water Star Island. We basically kind of based this on the Statue of Liberty or the freedom of Los Triplet Bay, so that these people could see everything around them and enjoy their time here. Then to basically bring in more goods and services and fishies, we created in our last episode Fisherman's Wharf, where basically we have tons of goods and services coming into here, and now we don't have enough buyers for these goods. So that's even amazing for us to be able to do that, to get these goods and services in and out of here. And while we were off camera, we threw in another cargo terminal so that the airport could actually provide some goods and services to get them in and out of the city as quickly as possible. But now that it is nightfall here in the city, thank you so much for joining us. Here in Los Triplet Bay, we're going to work on a new map and get back to building from scratch very soon. Y'all have a great day and a great night. Let's see if we can follow some vehicles.